In the top stories, operations at the air and seaports crippled as customs officers protest. 13 people lose their homes to fire. And Rivaldo Leacock makes it to the World Youth Championships final. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, July 17, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles. Customs officers have intensified their protest action, bringing some operations at the air and seaport to a halt on Friday. In cases where they did carry out their duties, they did so at a snail's pace. The officers are opposing attempts by the Barbados Revenue Authority to introduce option forms for their transition to that body, without first fully ventilating the matter with their trade unions. The NUPW's Wayne Waldron says the workers have had enough.
The workers are here, this is bringing a point in solidarity saying enough is enough. They have rights, the process is still going on, and we will not be accepting this intimidation, bullying tactics. We have to respect the process. So, consequently, we want immediate withdrawal of those action forms. That is the position of both unions. We, Brother Caswell, too, will speak to you, but this is our position. We are fed with this indifference and the respect for labor and negotiating.
From early in the morning, officers from the Customs and Excise Department on the Harbour Road were joined by those from the Bridgetown Port and a few others from the Warrens headquarters in a protest standoff. There was therefore little movement of cargo from the Bridgetown Port or the Grantley Adams International Airport. However, a few officers were on hand at the airport to process visitors to the island. 13 people are homeless after a fire at Jordan Land, St. Michael on Friday. The fire, which started at about 12:35 p.m., destroyed 2 houses and damaged another. One destroyed house belonged to 67-year-old Carlita Carthy, who lived alone, while the other one was occupied by her 2 daughters and their families. Miss Carthy was able to save a few personal items, but nothing was saved from the other house. Another house, also owned by Miss Carthy, received minor damage. Transport Minister Michael Ashley says amendments to the Road Traffic Act have been completed and now need to be certified by Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite. Addressing the Alpha 126 Traffic School's defensive driving graduation ceremony on Friday, he said attention will now shift to laws governing the production of license plates.
I come into this ministry and the act still speaks to the Barbados License Authority as the sole maker of license plates in Barbados. No authority has been given to anybody else in Barbados to make plates by law. So all the persons out there who are making license plates, there's no provision in the law to give them authority to make license plates. It's a fact. It's a fact. I'm right, though. I write on the law. It's a fact. But, of course, we can't go and tell them to shut down. So I'm saying that we have to make the provision in the law that those persons up there who are making license plate someday, that they will have to be approved by the license authority and registered with the license authority that give them the authority to issue license plate, so that anybody can go and set up a shop or a bucket or whatever it is and say, look, I got license plates, say, come.
Reverend Dr. David Durant says the church should not get into a panic over same-sex marriages. Instead, he says Christians should seek to be understanding even though they don't condone homosexuality. Dr. Durant made the comments during a news conference on Thursday.
My recommendation is not based on condemnation, but on a spiritual solution. We must at this time open the floodgates of love, compassion, and understanding, but not compromise or condoning the acts. As the church, we need not to panic, but have a prayerful response to the situation.
Dr. Durant also had a message for the United States Supreme Court.
I call this morning on the United States Supreme Court to pass legislation to protect pastors who refuse to marry same-sex partners and other Christians and businesses that do not want to participate in such weddings or activities. Laws must be passed to protect them. It is not fair for them to be exposed to court, martial, or to be charged. They should have a freedom as well to express and to live according to their beliefs, fundamental Christian beliefs, as well as people that want to have a right to live as they want to live as lesbians or homosexuals.
Constable Philip Graves has been laid to rest following a funeral service at St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Cathedral on Thursday. Relatives and co-workers remembered him as a loving father, brother, and son, as well as an exemplary officer. Constable Graves' body was found hanging at his home on July 5th. In sport, Rivaldo Leacock is through to Saturday's 400-meter hurdle finals in the IAAF World Youth Championships, which are currently underway in Colombia. He produced a personal best time of 51.20 seconds to finish third in the first of 3 semifinals on Thursday night. Japan's Masakai Toyota won in 50.72 seconds, while Emmanuel Langat of Kenya was second in 51.13 seconds. Also running on Thursday night was Tristan Evelyn, who finished fourth in the final of the girls' 100 meters in 11.59 seconds. And finally, a Spanish town plagued by pigeons has found an unusual way to contain the population. They have resorted to spiking the birds' feed with contraceptive pills. A town hall spokesman said one pair of birds can produce 48 pigeons a year, leading to a massive overpopulation of the species. 3 grain dispensers have now been installed on rooftops, which issue feed dosed with the drug. Officials hope that 80% of the town's pigeons will have been eliminated within 4 to 5 years. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your papers over the weekend or subscribe to our e-paper. And look out for the Weekend Buzz a little later. Thank you so much for joining us.